Okay, so this is the January 2024 card club, and the bundle that we're featuring is the Adoring Hearts. You will need to purchase this to complete this, or you'll have to substitute some of your decorations and your stamp, whichever. This is a hybrid embossing folder. I'll show you how to use that a little bit later in the video, but you will need to purchase this to complete the cards. In your packet, you're going to receive your 6 card kits. You will get 1 spool of the linen thread. You will get the 2023-2025 in color dots, and you will get a half a pack of the Poetic Expression Designer Series paper. I know me personally, when I get card packs or if I do paper shares or anything like that, I always prefer to get my sheet in the 12 by 6, just because if I want to do a card front of 4 inches, I could get 3 out of it. So I was able to find some of these cello bags to fit your paper. I normally do it like this for the, well, I do it for like this for our paper share, but I'm probably going to start doing it like this. I've looked into some bags to, I'm still ordering those to ship to you so you can get it like this. And as long as it's a reasonable price to ship, I'll do it like this, because I feel like you get more use of your paper versus, well, I mean, you don't get more use of your paper. It's just you can use it in, if you want to use it in 12 or 4 inches across your card, you can. With this, if you want to do a 4 inch, you would only get 1 or 2, and then, you know, the leftover 2 inches. Anyway, so I purchased these bags, but they have like a little hook here where you can hang them. Believe it or not, this exact same bag was almost double the price if I did not get that. So, hopefully I'm sure it's not any bother to you guys. How you probably toss this anyway. You probably have your own way of storing it, but I just wanted to share that detail with you of that. I think I'm going to start sharing it like this, and I may offer, when I do future paper shares, I may offer the option of this and just see what people like. But anyway, so on to the first card. Let me get all this out of the way. So in your card kit, you will receive your card base. You're going to get all of your pieces like this and this. Your designer series paper, you're going to cut on your own. Number one, you may not like the print. That's the great thing about the card club. You can change it if you want. But in your PDF is all the measurements for everything, so I'm not going to go over all the measurements. So let's do our stamping first, and then we'll put our card together. And I also want to do the die cutting. So I am picking the Celebrating You stamp. I always need birthday cards, so I'm thinking the Celebrate You. Now, you know, this is kind of one of those, you can use it for Valentine's Day if you want, or you know, this is the great thing is when you own this, you can use whatever you want. Or if you don't own this, you can always use something else. So, but I'm using this. So it is photopolymer, so I am going to bring in my Stamp and Pierce mat. And let's see, I think, I can't remember. Yeah, I'm going to use Crumb Cake. If I can find it, here it is. I'm going to use Crumb Cake ink to accent all of our add-on. You'll see when we put the card together. But I'm using the Crumb Cake and just stamping kind of in the middle. Okay. And then I'm going to bring, let me grab my embossing machine so I can show you this hybrid. Embossing folder. Now, if you're not familiar with the, you should be, because if you're in my class, I think I showed you guys the embossing folder at class. But you're going to need your number 1 plate, and your number 4 plate. This is like that specialty plate. Where the Stampin' Up! Side is, right here, if you open that to this way, this is a whole die, like it's one big piece. And you can, it will lock into place. Like, not like, you know, it'll fall out, but it kind of, you can just feel it kind of lock in place. So then you'll take your, I put a 4 by 5 1/4 in there, and it'll just fit, I think, 6 of the hearts. So you'll have enough to make extra. So then you always want to put your spine going in towards your machine when you're rolling. I hear that's the best way to prolong your folder. Okay. Get this out of the way. Okay. So you see it cuts and embosses at the same time. And see, you could totally use this right here as like a, if you wanted to do like a shaker card, or if you want to put another layer behind. I'm thinking we're going to do a card like that for this series. I just haven't decided yet. This is just, I'm just now designing the card 1. So I like to design it, film it, get it done. Then you're also going to cut a few of these little hearts. I'm going to just run these. Let's see. So keep that in mind when you're, well, actually, I'll put a piece of this in there so you can do your little hearts. That's why I like to do it, so I can try to remember everything in your kit. I'm just going to run this through my electric machine so it's faster. I just want to show you how cute. So this is what comes out, but then you also have this little piece. I thought that was kind of cute too. So, but that is your dies. You can put this to the side for something else if you want. We're just going to glue all our layers together. And in the PDF, I put to cut this one first, and then this one, and then this one next with the layering piece, and then this one with the layering piece. To me, it's just sometimes when I'm doing when I'm watching other demonstrators, the thing that sometimes messes me up is I'm trying to figure out what layers on what, so I know when I'm cutting my designer series paper, which, like, especially if it's a directional. Okay. I'm trying to be better about watching the camera, making sure that it's straight, because I know I'm always bumping it and then halfway through it's crooked. So I'm trying to keep watching. I have a little program that I can watch as I'm filming because I'm using my phone. I wanted to do this paper because I wanted to, like, my vibe that I was going for was kind of like a little country Valentine-y kind of cards. Not so traditional reds and pinks, even though we have the mauve, and I'll probably do a really cute card with that because I love the mauve colored paper. I just thought, you know, to do something a little non-traditional. That way it can still be a birthday card, but you're still using this love set, I guess. Let's see. On here, I'm going to go ahead and glue this down, and then we'll pop up our whichever piece we want to layer on there. Now on here, you can see these have such great detail. You can use either side. Like, you can flip them over and do whichever side you want. If you want the, you know, the more raised on one side, they're both just really gorgeous. I'm going to go with this one. It's my favorite one. And then I'm going to come back in with my crumb cake. And I'm going to make it to where we can see that detail just a little bit better by using my now if I can remember what I did with it. Hold fast. Okay, probably a good 20 minutes later I found it. I don't know why it was where it was, but anyways, this is our Stampin' Brayer. It's brand new, and I am in love with it. I haven't even used it, and I'm in love with it. And the reason why is because I've used one of these before, just because it has this little stand where you're not like constantly rolling your stuff around. I'm just going to bring this little the bumpier side up, and I'm going to just brayer just a little bit of color, not a lot, just a little bit on the top. And then see, you can lay it down like that and grab your baby wipe and wipe it off, or your whatever you use to clean it off. I'm just going to use my little wipe thing here. Wipe it off. And then I'm going to keep this in this little bag. I'll probably put it in a Ziploc bag or something, but I don't want to get like hair and things like that on it. This thing too, I'm just going to wipe this right off into my I'm going to set that to the side because I'm going to wipe it off better later. My chamois. That's what it is, chamois. Okay, so now we're going to layer each panel on. Maybe. You know what? How did I do that? You know what? I'm not going to, well, it's kind of late now, but first I want to wrap my linen thread. No. Okay, wait a minute. Let's see. I want to wrap my linen thread to where, so I measured this. This is, it's about 42 inches, but it's way too long. And I doubled it because I want my bow to be kind of fluffy, but just wrap this around first. And I'm not going to tie it. I'm going to leave it over to the side because I'm going to fuss with the tie-in in just a little bit. But I do want to kind of spread this a little bit. Just kind of over there. And I'm not going to put the glue right there so much. Oh, this glue.
You about to start recording or anything?
I am recording.
Oh, but.
Why you need me? I mean, it's I'll edit it out. What do you?
No, I was gonna turn the TV on.
Oh, I can't. You can. I can't hear it in here. Okay. I like to use the glue because it actually allows it to slide a little bit better, especially when you have the just 1/8 of an inch around. But it's okay. I'm gonna get it in place just right. Okay, so then the next layer, I want that behind the linen thread as well. So I'm going to just glue that down. Okay, I need a new bottle of glue. I'm kind of putting it right in the middle. Okay, let me grab another bottle of glue. That's why I didn't want to grab one. I have it buried. Now this one is going to be more over to the side, but again, I'm going to put dimensionals at the top and the bottom. And just a little bit of glue in the middle. Now this one's going to be running everywhere because it's new. But I want to keep it to the left. Okay, now I'm going to tie my bow. And you don't want to pull too tight because it does that. You don't really have to worry if it's wiggly because it is going to get tacked down with this. So don't worry about it. So on this, I'm going to put the dimensionals on the right side over here. Oh, I totally messed that up, but okay. Trying to make sure I keep the dimensionals off the page. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in my little heart right and just kind of put it, I'm going to put a dimensional, but just on this side here. Or no, I'm going to put the glue on the side and a dimensional on the bottom. So if you flip it over, the dimensional will go on that side. And then just a little bit of glue over here, just to anchor it in place right there. And then these little hearts, this one you can put to the side for something else. And then these you just kind of place them wherever you want. I'm going to do, I think I'll do one right here. I'll do two up here because I still have my gems to put on. Okay, and then let me grab my gems. I have not used these in a while, so they're probably in the back. These were like everybody's favorite, and then they were sold out forever. I hope they keep them around. They're one of my favorite ones. I love the boho blue. As you can see, that's the ones I've used the most, is the boho blue. And I'm just going to do one big one and two smaller ones. I think I'll do a big one up here, a couple smaller ones down here. And then I'm going to trim off my ribbon, and that is the card. And you can play with your bow however you want. If you don't like it wiggling around like that, you can put like a little glue dot. Which I think I will do. I don't like things moving around on my cards. It's just like too easy. And you can just ball it up in a little ball and put it right behind. Okay. And then you should have another white piece the same size. I didn't cut myself one. I'm just going to grab one out of my bin here and glue that in. Yours will be a little bit bigger. And so that's card one. Okay, for your second card, you're going to extend your arm out and you're going to cut at 5.5. By 10.5. Then you're going to get your cut blade out of the way and you're going to score at 3.5. And 7. Then you're going to accordion fold your card like that. Burnish your card down. So now you're going to have this. When you get your card kit, I'll already have this part done for you. But I left the cutting so you could learn how to do it. So the card opens like this. You're going to turn, and this is the folded inside. So you got your mountain over here to the left. your valley, you're going to turn up and bring down. So you have your card fold here. You're going to place it in your trimmer at 1/2 inch. Bring your blade back, and you're going to cut down to 1.5. Now you want to push kind of hard because there is two layers that you're going through, so you need to kind of push to get through both of those. Okay. Then you're going to slide your cardstock over to 1 3/4. And you're going to cut from 1.5, or you're going to cut from the top to the 1.5. Then you're going to slide over to 2 1/8. Again, you'll cut from here to 1.5. Then you're going to slide your card over to 3 3/8. Cut to the 1.5. Then you're going to slide it over to 3 3/4. Cut down to the 1.5. And then you're going to move your card over to 5 and cut down to the 1.5. Now you just want to double check and make sure you got all the way through for all of them. This one I'm just a little shy. I'm just going to bring my snips in, or my scissors in, and kind of go along that line just a hair. Okay, now just from experience of I've probably done 3 cards now and done the same thing every time. Get your cut blade out of the way. You don't even want it in your way. Now with the folded side, you're going to have it go to the left. You're going to bring it in at 1.5. Now I might have to get in the camera a little bit because I can't really see. Actually, I'll try to stand over it, but you're going to bring it into 1.5. Shut your trimmer, and you're going to bring in your scoring blade, and just the big blocks you're going to score. And you got to give it a pretty good little push because you're going through 2 layers of cardstock. Do all 3 of the large blocks. Okay. So now you just want to make sure all your cut lines are down to that score. Now you're going to bring, so remember, here is your open again. You're bringing this. You're going to push forward. We can get this out of the way for a second. You're going to push forward all of your big blocks and bring them forward. Pull it forward. Bend it on that score line. Bring it forward. Bend on that score line. Now you want to flip it over and do the same thing on the other side. So then your card's going to close just like that. And you can try to get in there and burnish your pieces if you want. Okay, so this is what we have so far, just like that. See the top? Okay. Okay, so now we're going to grab out of our stamp case the stamp that is a heart. And we're going to go ahead and stamp that real quick. I'm going to use crumb cake because, again, I'm trying to tie in that the kind of like that boho vibe, and also to bring in the crumb cake color from the twine because we're going to add the twine. So you just want to try and get kind of the upper top center. And then you will have a banner just like that. And you're going to get the Just For You right there. And for that one, I'm going to use the Moody Mauve. Okay. Now this, just to give this a little texture, you can use any embossing folder that you want. I didn't want to use the Adorn one because I didn't want one of those big hearts to look awkward. So I'm just giving this some texture. I have this Type 1 3D. Now I won't run this through because I won't run this through for you because you won't be able to stamp your image. So whatever embossing folder that you have available will work fine. It doesn't have to be this one. Just something with some texture, or you can always get this one if you don't have it. I'm just going to run this through my machine real quick. Okay, so now in your, basically you're going to take a piece of, or you'll use the, what is this? Let me check real quick. Bubble bath. I kept wanting to say bubble gum. I'm still learning some of these colors. I haven't used this one in a while. You're going to do the same thing that you did when you made your first card, as far as you're going to, like when you ran it through your folder with your, when you ran it through, you're going to put your die over here. Now, you'll only need 3 of the hearts, but you can, there are different ones. If I'm going to use 3 different ones on my card, but you're going to run that through, push, there'll be a piece in your kit to run that through your die. And then you're going to also in the dies there are these other little hearts, and you can pick which one you like best. I chose this one. And then obviously we have this, so I'm just going to put just a tiny bit of glue on the back here, which I don't know how that's going to work since this is a new bottle, but I'm going to do my best. This is probably best to run with the adhesive sheets. It would probably work best. I got a little bit of a glob, so I'm just going to kind of take another scratch piece and so it doesn't leak over. And I'm just going to put that in the center. And then I'm going to get my bone folder, and I'm going to give this just a little kind of like a little bit of a wave one way and wave the other way. Kind of like that, if you can see. Little bump in it like that. And I'm going to put a dimensional on each end. If you have minis, you can use minis. I'm just going to take this one and cut it in half. Oops. Just kind of take it over like that. And then for your twine, I like, when I do twine, I like to double it up. So I'm just doubling it up and creating a bow. I'm just making a tiny little bow. Then I'm just going to get a little glue dot and knot that up. Put behind here. Just kind of do it to one side there. Okay, let me clean off my desk just a little bit so I don't have so much on the table here. Okay, so in your kit, you're going to have this panel. You're going to glue this to this panel. Okay, so it is a totally different day. I had my phone went completely dead, so dead that it wouldn't even charge last night. So it's a completely different day, but we basically put texture on here, assembled this, and now that we're just putting our layers together. Inside your layers, you're going to have a larger white piece. One of the white pieces is going to be larger than the other. And the largest one is going to have this designer series paper on top. The smaller one is going to be where you sign your card. Okay. So then you're also in your kit, you're going to have little designer series paper. Well, actually, you'll cut this yourself. Any of the designer series paper you'll cut yourself, because you can change your what your design if you want. You don't have to do it the same way I did. We're going to just place these down, and the measurement for this will be in the PDF. Now, if you wanted, you could have like some of your, like if you wanted this pattern to be different than is here, you can do that. If you wanted to cut this smaller and line it, you could do that as well. Like if you wanted to have a layer behind this, you can. I just kept it minimal because we're covering it. We're going to cover it up anyways. On this one? Oh, here it is. No, that's not it. All right, I'll come back to that. Okay, one more panel. Here's my other piece. Okay. Okay, so there is our card like that. Well, that needs to pop through. It's going to be just like that. So now I'll give you the paper to where you can make your the bubble bath. You can pick which sides you want, which ones you want. I'll give you the paper to do this. You'll need to run this and emboss. You'll need to run this and do the emboss and cut at the same time. And basically we're going to have the hearts are going to sit on here just like this. Get that out of the way. So you're only going to glue one side on the right side. So you'll have this come down the center and you're only going to have the glue on the right side. And so that's how your card looks, just like that. Now, if you don't want it to stick out on the side like this right here, if that bothers you, you can move them over just a little bit. But I wanted it to be centered for when it stands up, because most people are going to have this sitting on like a mantle or, you know, whatever. So I wanted it to it didn't bother me that this stuck out. If it bothers you, just scoot your layers over to one side a little bit more to the right. Okay. All right, so let's put some bling on here. Oh, those are yours. These are mine. Sometimes I can pick these right up, and then other times they're so hard. I don't know why. Okay, so that's card 2. Okay, so now we're ready for card 3. I have all my measurements written down, and hopefully this will go pretty quick. Okay, your card base is going to be 8.5 by 5.5. For we're going to score that. Let me put my glasses on. At 1 1/4. And 4 1/4. Okay. Then you're going to cut your designer series paper. You're going to cut 2 at 1 and 5 1/4. So 5 1/4. Five 1/4, and then you're going to cut another piece of designer series paper, and you're going to cut 2 of these at 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. So let's go to 5 1/4. Cut that off, and then 2 3/4. Okay. And then we're going to cut a piece of Very Vanilla, or I'm sorry, Basic White at 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. Okay. Set everything else to the side. We're done cutting for a second. Okay, so now bumpy side up, you're going to fold your card in half, burnish it, fold this part back, and burnish it. And then we are going to, let's see, first we're going to stamp here, and I am going to put I adore you, and then on the inside I'm going to put with all my heart. So I'm going to stamp the with all my heart, and I'm doing that in Lost Lagoon. Okay. We're going to stamp some more in just a second, but I'm going to get all my panels on first. What did I do with my glue? There it is. Okay, this first one is going to go right here. And then if you want to open it like this, it might be easier to apply this one. And then we're going to put another one of these, this pattern here. Now this is an option, you don't have to, but you can leave it blank if you want. Now I'm going to go ahead and close this just so I can make sure that this isn't even like the other side. So I can kind of eyeball lining it up. And then this one will go in here lined up. And just make sure that it's covered up over here so it's not, you can't see it through. Okay, so now all we have to do is decorate. Okay, so in your kit, I have cut one with the largest nested essentials, and one which is the largest, and then one is the second to largest in the white. And we're going to stamp. I'm going to wait to stamp the greeting, and I'm going to bring in my scratch piece of paper, and we're going to stamp this rose right here. And I'm going to stamp that in the Lost Lagoon as well. Just going to bring out one of my Stampin' Pierce mats. And now I am going to grab my markers. I'm going to do Lost Lagoon and the Moody Mauve. Or do I not have? Let me see. I'm just going to color the leaves with the light. And the stem. Okay. And then I'm going to use the Moody Mauve Dark first. And just kind of do some of these center parts. Maybe a little bit of the edges. These roses. And then I'm going to come in with the light and try to blend some of that out a little bit with my brush tip. Now there's no dies for this, so you'll have to fussy cut it. But I think it'll be an easy thing to fussy cut. Okay. So let me cut that real quick. And you don't have to really worry about getting too close to the edge, just for the simple fact that its background is going to be mostly white, especially on this side, because we're going to pop this up on that white stamped area. So I'm going to kind of do it like kind of at an angle, kind of like at an angle a little bit. It'll be popped up, but I want to try and stamp in this area. So in that, we're going to put I adore you. Oops. And we use the Lost Lagoon again. And I just want to make sure that it fits, so I'm kind of keeping this there for reference. Okay. So now we'll glue this down. Let me get that out of my way before I have my fingers in it. And I have some little dimensionals I need to use up here. Okay, just kind of stick that on there however you want. And then we're going to come here, and I want this to be almost in the middle. So put my glue. Oh, it's slid. Okay, and then we will bring in our gems, and I'm going to use the Moody Mauve. Now, if you wanted to color your rose one of these different colors, this is Pebble Path, Wild Wheat, Moody Mauve, and what is this one? Copper Clay, and then this was the Boho Blue. You could use a different color if you wanted, and I'm going to use the smaller ones. And I just put them on there to kind of take up some of the space. You can put them wherever you want, but so that's card 3.